Yep.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, all Gooners worldwide. This is season two of our Arsenal Fan Circle channel and episode 11. And I want to start, if I may, Mahir, I'll start off before you get to say anything because I want to get this off my chest. Uh, all Arsenal fans were united, most of them, I'm going to say 90% of them or more were united when Unai Emery was appointed our coach. It was very refreshing that he came into a press conference, his first press conference in England, and used a language that was not native to him, to his tongue. Used English. We were all very proud of the fact that he tried to speak English and communicate with the press. That was 18 months ago. And with all of the best will, all of the goodwill um, in the world, I have to say this has to have been Unai Emery's last game in charge of Arsenal. And you can argue and debate about whether that 22 game unbeaten run was valid, whether we were lucky, whether we were not lucky. We did go 22 games unbeaten with him. We had a difficult patch around Christmas last year and into the new year. The team seemed to have rallied under players like Koscielny coming back from injury, and this was the new year now, and we got ourselves into a decent, really, really decent position where we actually beat Manchester United, which maybe is not saying a lot. We beat Manchester United at home, and that was really our last really, really good result for me. Despite a really, what I'm going to say is a good window. We got Tierney in the house. We got Pepe. I'm going to say we didn't adequately replace Koscielny with David Luiz. We had a decent window. We have a lot of holes in the squad still. A lot of, like you say, Mahir, square pegs, trying to force them into round holes. But it's just gone downhill since about March on the playing field. It's gone downhill. And too many draws at home. Too many draws at home. And we've lost a couple of games, but this feels like a loss to me. Over to you, Mahir.
Yeah. Square pegs, round holes, gaping holes, simply unacceptable. To be honest with you, Ray, I am pissed off. I am pissed off. Do you realize, and do our subscribers realize, how lucky we are that this game we managed to get a draw? Now we're saying Emery out. 100% behind you,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
100% with you.
It has to end tonight.
It has to end tonight. Without a shadow of a doubt, has to end within the next few hours. We have
Hmm.
to put out of our misery. You, there is no month, December period, Christmas time, next window to be back. It's done. It's done. If you saw any of the players on the field, they are not, Ray, they are not playing for Emery at all. Not one of them. Not one of them. Because same old thing is happening every single game. Game in, game out. Doesn't matter if it's the best 11 on the pitch, if it's not the best 11. He said, oh, I'm going to change things. When Bellerin comes back, when Tierney comes back, Bellerin and Tierney are back long time ago. What is happening? Torreira's unhappy. Lacazette is unhappy. Aubameyang is unhappy. Like, when is this going to end? Welcome,
Oh,
Usman. Assalamu
Usman, welcome into Arsenal fan circle. I've
Hey,
had
good
my
to be
say.
back. How's everyone doing?
I've had my say. Mahir's had his say. Now it's over to you.
Hmm.
Not a lot to be said.
Oh well. What I think of the match today?
Yeah, let's start with that.
Diabolical, pathetic, weak mentality. Everything was just wrong with the game. But anyways, who's surprised? Like I'm not surprised we were seeing this kind of performance. I expected it. The only way we were going to able to get a clean sheet is if we had like a huge win or something, but that was not the case.
More fool me, Usman. I expected a commanding performance, 3-0, 4-0 against a team right at the bottom of the table.
But this is the issue. Like any team we play against, they're always dropping their hands, thinking, "Oh, here's a good game. They can get their momentum back up." Like we're the only team who's not serious. Like look at Tottenham. A couple of days
Yeah.
ago, sacked Pochettino, brought in Mourinho because they weren't doing well. They wanted to get to the place where they wanted to be, so they had to do what they need to do. And they're acting like a big club, even though they're not. But they act like a big club because they know what they want and they're willing to do anything it takes to get to that spot. But for us, we have a bunch of old people controlling our club, giving Unai Emery, the man who is not doing us any favors, performing very terribly, a vote of confidence. And he returns with this. There's a reason why we should have sacked him, but we did not take that opportunity to sack him. It's very frustrating knowing that we have people in our club where they're not going to do what needs to be done to get us back into winning ways. And it's not a surprise at this point. It's not a surprise. Even with all our best players, we're not performing well. Like the players are not even playing for the manager anymore.
Yeah, I thought it was ironic toward the end, Usman, that Ozil had a good chance to maybe save Emery. Did you see the irony in that?
Yeah, nah, there's nothing positive from any of this. He should have
No.
been gone. They should have they should have taken Enrique because look what's happened. If Spain have called him back to their national team, and people saying that, oh, we're not getting because of his daughter. Like I know what happened to his daughter is it was very horrible. May her soul rest in peace.
Yeah,
But
rest
the
in
fact
peace.
that he came back into coaching and we did not take that advantage, like what are we doing?
Mahir, I have to believe that the club has some names ready to go. If not now, maybe in a few weeks, but Freddie Lundberg should take charge.
But anyway, absolutely. Keep Freddy the caretaker for now. Usman, I'm sure you'd agree with me when I mean there are a lot of available coaches. International break would have been the perfect time to sack Emery, but we've been run by a bunch of donuts, clowns, call them what you want, bottle jobs. Even the board are bottle jobs because there was a perfect opportunity. Usman, if you may know, I told this to Ray and our subscribers before the game when we were having the preview, where I was saying apparently Pep might be leaving Manchester City come the start of next year. So, do we give it to a caretaker who is Freddie Lundberg and wait for a Pep? I mean, even Allegri is available. I mean, anybody. You can even take Hassan Hutel and put him in this team, and he'll be managing better than Unai Emery, who doesn't know what the bloody hell, mind my language, he's doing.
Well, Usman, I actually believe that he will be sacked today. Do you believe that, Mahir? Do you believe that also?
I 100% believe you. Do apologize. We just lost Usman. We'll see if we can get him back online. But to answer Ray's question, guys, what do you guys think? Do you think he'll be sacked tonight? Because look, we hope and pray within the next few hours. I mean, he needs to be sacked right now. Like while they're doing the AFTV interviews and all of that, he needs to be sacked. Like
Well,
leaving the stadium,
I
that
think,
needs to be
yeah,
farewell. Like get out.
Mahir. I think that they will let him do the press conference, and it'll be a number of hours, but I think we will hear today that without further ado, Unai Emery has been relieved of his duties from the first team. I really believe that's going to happen.
What is he going to say in his press conference? Not a good
Uh,
evening. Not a good evening. Not a good
yeah.
evening.
No, he'll start with good evening. It's always good evening, and you know.
I mean, even that, Ray. What are you saying? What are you saying? Good evening after a bad day. We've had so
Well,
many bad days, and Watford, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Leicester.
Spurs,
Six. Look at my hands.
yeah,
Spurs. Look at my hands.
yeah. We've won games. We won the Aston Villa game. We couldn't have done that again today because that only happens once a season where you pull out something like that. But we didn't even deserve a draw, Usman.
Did you see the chances that we missed,
Of
Usman?
course, we didn't deserve a draw. I mean, looking at how we were playing, there were chances where we should have taken that opportunity. We should have scored goals, but instead we decided to pass it over to the next person to try and take it. Wing that God's exposed and not performing the way we're supposed to do. I mean, here's one thing: if you give someone a gun and told them go and shoot that person, they're probably shooting themselves in the leg because they are so non-confident of themselves. Like they're not confident. They have this kind of fear where if they don't, how would I say it? If they don't do it, it's all going to go wrong for them. And of course, it's going to go wrong because you're the one that's on the pitch trying to score, and you're not scoring. And the defense was very leaky, more leakier than a broken pipe. That's how bad the defense was. We created chances, but we did not take advantage of our chances. And at the end of the day, it's not a surprise. We have seen it since the beginning of the season and around the ending of last season.
The first goal conceded by Danny Ings, we all switch off. The whole defense, man, here switches off.
It's like West Ham versus the Shite from across there. You know, our neighbor, not our neighbors, but yeah, our neighbors. I don't know if you guys saw that, but their goals were also scored like that. West Ham just switched off. They were basically walking at a snail's pace, defending, but walking, defending. Have you ever seen that? It's like, it looks hella awkward. I was like, and they just let in one goal, and then they let in another goal, right? And it looked exactly like that.
David Luiz turns his back to the. I was always when I was playing football, man, here, I was told you come alive when the play goes dead, you come alive. When the whistle's blown, you come alive. The David Luiz did not do that. Turned his back, and Danny Ings is slid in, and he's got a lot to do still on the left side. If a defender is aware, he closes it down.
It's not surprising how many chances they had to bury the game right at the end. Did you see that? Sufyan Boufal.
To be honest, I'd walked away, but I did see chance after chance. Because
Ray, if you manage to see it, I know you don't want to see it, but I'm just saying if you do manage to see it somehow, right? And any of our subscribers as well, you tell me how putrid that was. I mean, I think I had like 5 opportunities within the space of 2 minutes. Good to have you, Hope. How's it, Hope?
Hey, good evening. How are you? Thanks for having me.
We're good. Hopes is actually traveling back from the game, so he can give us a feeling of the stadium.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm driving back. I've just put my car light on.
Yeah.
I just got off the underground.
First
I'm
foremost.
safe. I'm safe. Don't worry. I've got you on the hands free. I'm safe. How are you guys? How'd you feel about that?
Pissed off. That's it. That's the final game. It's done.
Nah, it's I wish it was, I mean, we lost because we were lost.
Yeah.
There was no leadership. There was no guidance. The players from the outset looked, lack of confidence. 4 minutes in, literally, like a lot of the fans sitting around me in the North Bank, they were very negative and toxic. I then, I was trying to urge the boys on because I could see they were lacking confidence, and it was a case of if you're lacking confidence and somebody is giving out to you, then it's not going to help your confidence. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
And overall, it was just we were just delusional. Emery was standing there with his hands like just folded. I walked out before we scored the 90th minute. I walked out at 74 minutes because I just, I'm fed up of wasting my money, my time. It's just everybody can see it. It's over to Josh, like sort this team out. I tweeted a picture of our front four. Pepe, Ozil, Aubameyang, and Lacazette. And don't tell me there's not goals in this team. There is goals in this team. They just don't gel. They don't play well together. Nothing's happening, Oh man, I'm just furious. I'm furious. I just walked out. I said, I can't. The referee as well. He was their 12th man. He was like, what's going on, And when Pepe come on, I haven't been a great fan of Pepe's, but since when he came on, he got into good chances. Now, when you watch the game on TV, even when I watch the game on TV, what I don't see is the runs off the balls, and I don't know who's given Pepe the instruction to be the out-and-out striker. Right? It's like you're a right winger, get ahead of Bellerin. Bellerin was having to cover from the halfway line to the corner flag in the opposition and back. And Pepe just, there's the argument. He cuts in. But no, like his situational awareness on the pitch is just like, I believe he has the ingredients, the essentials, right? But again, no man management, lack of guidance. The guy's lost. He's, a bit like our manager, out of depth, that's how I feel, in this moment about our team. I put beforehand, someone asked me, I think it was you, Fan Circle, when you put out 3-1 as I was traveling down there, and I said I could see us drawing again 1-1. And again, another draw. I mean, I can't say the guy's name, but the Spanish pundit, Guillem Bala, whatever his name is. Yeah, so he was saying, like, wait for the next 6 games. We're going to get 4 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. 1 loss and 1 draw, something like that. And it's like, I mean, to me, I don't know if he's somehow involved with Unai Emery and he's, trying to get the fans off his back. There's all this transition, there's all this change. Yeah, no one's denying that. But, if you know how to lead the team, you know how to lead the team, right?
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I just don't. So I had fans 360 around me. I was probably the most positive one. There were 360 around me. F this, F that. This is crazy. Emery, what are you going to do? You're out your depth and blah, blah, blah. It's like I'm trying to be positive. I want my team to win. I want Emery to do well, but it's just not good enough. It's a lot of money we spend. Highest selling season tickets, one of the highest in the country, in the world. Yeah. We're not getting value for money. The board give him a vote of confidence, but I just can't see anything change. I cannot believe after a 2-week break, why is our confidence low after a 2-week break? It's like, the positives for me were Tierney, Ozil, some of Pepe, Guendouzi. I mean, he just seemed like he wasn't his run forward self, Ozil wasn't passing to Tierney that much, so Tierney was making these runs constantly, and it's a lot of hard work, right? And in the end, I saw Tierney just sort of kind of give up, saying, You know, if I'm going to make the run, bloody well pass the ball to me. Otherwise, I'm not making that run. Period. I'm not making that run. And then there was a point around about the 70th minute after their penalty when the whole Ozil had a clear pass on, a 5-yard pass to Tierney. And, you know, the fans were saying, pass, give him the bloody ball. He's going to run forward and he's going to cross it. And eventually Ozil gave it to him. It's like, I just don't know. Now, I don't know if that's because Ozil's playing the role designated to him by our coach. Yeah, I just don't know. It's a shambles. It's just like a total pick-a-mix of a sweet. You just don't know what you're going to get each week. Even if we go 4-0 up, I'm still paranoid, you know, whether the team our opposition will come back and beat us 5-4, you know?
Yeah, in the pregame, we did a pregame show, Hopes, and I was almost thinking, what if we get into a 2-0 lead? We're still not safe at 2-0. We've shown that. But wow. Nothing but a managerial change can solve that now.
Nothing.
Can change things.
I think it may change for a while, but we need consistency after the 6 month, 1 year. Just like when Emery came in, there was a lot of confidence and optimism. But today I didn't see that in the fans, guys. In the most busiest stadium, in the most popular part of the stadium at the Emirates, the North Bank, I didn't see that. I just saw everybody cursing, toxicity. You know, there were a few fans that I could count on one hand who were trying to be positive and saying, okay, you know, just chill out, you know, let's get behind them. They clearly lack confidence. And it was just, you know, so I'm fearful because it's a case of even if you get the right manager to say and do the right things, consistency is our biggest issue. What you know, at the same time, with the same bated breath, let's be honest, Emery's out of his depth. You know, he's not doing it. He can't do it. And does that mean we had a great opportunity to get rid during the international break, but we gave him a vote of confidence while our board did. And to me, it comes down to Josh Kroenke, you know, even Pepe. As much as I'm not liking him at the minute, I know he has potential. You know, just our front four, there are goals all over them, but without any service, and they're, you know, it's painful to watch. It's just like, oh man, I had to walk out. You know, just like, I'm sorry, but I have to say,
you left a little early, and nobody would blame you to do that. You know, so Bearded Gooner, I sent you the link if you want to jump in as well. Mahir, you got any questions for Hopes?
No, I'm just very appreciative. Hopes coming onto our channel and discussing just how the situation coming live from Emirates.
And you're breaking up a little bit, Mahir. Tanner, welcome in.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Tanner.
Hey,
Mahir and Hopes, you know, and meet Mahir as well.
Tanner, nice to meet you, brother.
Pleasure. Unfortunately, not under the greatest of circumstances.
Possibly under these circumstances, things can change, Tanner.
You got to think at this point. Really got to think at this point. I mean, think about it, gents. By rights, we probably should have lost this game by 2 goals.
Yes.
When you think about it, and I'm sorry, I'm a little late to the party, so if I'm repeating anything you guys already said, I apologize. But let me readjust the camera here. And
it's an action-packed changing windows podcast.
Yeah, this is. I mean, at this point, we said it last. We've said it before now too. That if we don't make a change, if the board don't make a change, they're equally as culpable in this as Unai Emery is. He's not going to resign, and if anybody, you know, I actually mentioned that point a couple of weeks ago that maybe he resigns. He's not going to resign. He stands to lose too much money in that. we should have lost by 2 goals to a team that will be relegated. They will be relegated this year. They sit in 19th, and it took a 95th minute equalizer from Alex Lacazette, who, by the way, didn't celebrate either of his goals today. If you look at his reaction after scoring, he didn't celebrate either goal. Hopes, I think, were you at the match today? I assume you were.
Yes, he was.
I keep hearing that even that nobody celebrated, the fans at the stadium didn't celebrate Lacazette's equalizer. I think the players at this point are playing more on instinct than anything else. They're professional athletes. That competitive streak is what has gotten them to this point in their lives. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think instinct tends to take over. And I think that happened with Lacazette today. The players, as the match grew, I think the players just run on pure instinct. Hey, we've got to go out, we've got to score, and I think that took over. But I think Lacazette's body language after both of his goals should tell you all you need to know.
Tanner, I thought that he celebrated with Aubameyang for the first goal.
He celebrated. After the first goal, he just kind of stood there. But it wasn't. You remember his goal against Spurs at the end of the first half, where he just stood there and looked. That was defiance. That was utter. It was just he just stood there like,
we will not lose today.
Let's go. Today he stood there like, man, what did I just do? Almost like he didn't mean to do it.
I don't know.
And again, I think instinct takes over as well. When you score a goal, you're excited. It's an exciting time. So the players, that's instinct. It's human nature. I'm sitting here watching the game, and I'm like, man, oh man, it's bad. And I had to catch myself because it's instinct for me as a fan. I want them to score. I want us to score in the match. I'm rooting for that equalizer, but then we scored it, and I'm like, did he just buy Unai Emery another week? Did he just buy Unai Emery another month? Sorry, I kind of went off there for a minute.
No, it's absolutely fine. We love that. We love that because we as fans show a lot of passion, and that's exactly what it is. Like you're saying about instinct, right? To be honest with you, when Lacazette scored his first goal, he just picked up the ball, running high speed back towards the halfway line. So that's exactly what I saw. Did you see anything different?
To be honest, it's relief. Sat in the stadium today, it was just relief. It is because it's beyond belief. Where the home team, second from bottom team, visitors come to us. They have about 17 shots on target. We have 7, roughly. The stats were like that. Whenever we scored, it was just a case of, how can we even be celebrating this? We should be all over them. It was just from the players and the fans, it's a sign of relief. It was, it was just, and it was just, it gave every time, after our first goal, the fans switched into a more positive light. But up until then, there was a lot of cursing. There was a lot of debate amongst fans, like unhealthy, not, and it was just sad to see that this is the team that I support, and everybody can see it. 60,000 plus fans can see it in the stadium, yet our board and everyone are just not willing to do anything about it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats here, Hopes. We're outshot by shots on target 6-5 and shots off target 11-3. So combined, those is for 17 versus 8. They had twice as many shots as we had.
That is just massively unacceptable.
Continuing trend.
Yeah, we look like the team who are second from bottom. In the league, I just cannot understand someone like Unai Emery, who's won 3 European leagues. He's won the French titles. You know, how is that? How, even before you answer that, how do we line up with 5 at the back against Southampton? You know, even if you say, okay, it was 3 and 2 wing backs and what have you, but it's just, it's, you know, as I was watching, because I've got a really good, you know, I sit high so I can see, you know, all the runs and so on and so forth. And I was thinking to myself, we're doing the same things. We're playing wide. Remember, like when Tierney and Bellerin at the start of the season, wait till they come, then we can play Unai Emery style of football. So we had 2 wide wingers, and all they kept doing, Southampton, was going over over the top of like Bellerin. And then it was literally like their 2 on our 3, or sometimes 2 on 2. And it was so easy. It was too easy for them. And okay, things happen. Mistakes are made. Everybody's human. But what did Unai Emery do to change it? Nothing. He just stood there on the touch, like with his hands folded. It's just kind of like, before, you know, I'm not surprised our players are the way they are, because if the manager's like that, then what the players meant to do? Yeah. You know, it's a sham. It's painful. It hurts, you know. It's like someone do something.
Yeah, I mean, the team, Mahir, the team should be the image of the coach. And if that's what the coach is like, to Hope's point, what does the team look like? I also thought Bellerin had a pretty bad game as well.
Yeah, Bellerin was pretty bad.
But do you blame him? Do you blame him? Look how much coverage. Look at, like, I don't know if you can find the stat. How much did he run up and down? Yeah. Right? Because the player ahead of him was never giving him cover. So he could never run forward with the hope that, you know, okay, if I get too far ahead, I'm going to be covered here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
That's a brilliant point, Hopes. I love that. I love that analysis. That, you know, not a lot of players have been given coverage, especially our back line. I mean, like you're saying with the whole Bellerin thing, you know, if he's going to bomb forward and be exposed, it's going to be a one-on-one with one of our defenders. And as we're so much in shambles, there's not a smidge of trust. If I'm going forward as one of the midfielders or one of the wing backs, there's no smidge, not even this little bit, like the space between my fingers, trust that they're going to cover the back line. And I mean, it's ridiculous. Tanner, wouldn't you agree? It's absolutely ridiculous, unacceptable.
It's unbelievable that now I don't necessarily think that starting with 5 at the back is necessarily defensive when you consider what Tierney did today and what I think we were expecting from Bellerin. So I wasn't overly disappointed with the formation to start with, but you're absolutely right. There's no coverage for Hector Bellerin, and he's running his butt off. I mean, it's not like he's not putting in the effort. He put in the effort, but I think overall just a dreadful performance from him. Maybe he's not ready yet. Maybe he's just not up to fitness. But I have to think that it's been what, 11 months? When did he blow out his ACL? January. It's been 11 months, man, and he's got to get now. Again, it could be, you know, down to game time and just getting back into the flow of you can't simulate a game in practice, in training. So I'm not going to come down on Bellerin too hard. I'm running out of words for what I'm watching here. I really am.
Go ahead, Hopes.
I was going to say, I just want to come in there. Sorry to interrupt it, but you know, even if Bellerin, I'd take the point on board, right? That he's coming back from an injury and it's too much ground for him to cover and he's not getting enough coverage. But we've got Chambers on the bench. So why not give Bellerin, I don't know, a half and change it?
Why?
And say, sorry, you know, why not change it?
And
you know,
that's what I was going to come to you with, hopes. It seems like Chambers is sacrificed at the back when there's more culpable defenders.
Yeah, I mean, you see, what we get with Bellerin and we don't get with Chambers is that final ball. In the final third, the crosses Bellerin will put in. However, you know, it's so easy, like, you know, there's so many options. Like, okay, take Bellerin off, bring Pepe on and bring Chambers on. Don't let Chambers go past the halfway line. Don't let Pepe cut in and be the out-and-out striker, which I'm not sure if you guys can pick up on the TV at home. I've got pictures. I'll tweet them later. Pepe is a out-and-out striker, and I'm like, why? You're not helping your right back at all. Get ahead of your right back and then cut in, which you're world renowned to do, and shoot on the left. Now, in terms of coverage, the other two players, even I have got no issue playing five at the back, but then it also puts emphasis on Guendouzi and Torreira to supply the attack, Ozil and the attack. Now, what happens the minute Guendouzi or Torreira are out of position? Who's covering them?
Exactly.
Right?
Let the silence speak volumes.
Well, that's a pivot, and one should cover for the other. Am I incorrect in saying so?
Yeah, but what happens if they both run forward on an attack or a corner?
They can't do that.
Well, there you go. So then we're already we're constraining ourselves from supplying ourselves. And this is what Southampton were doing. They said, no problem. You send the ball out right and left on the wings, no problem, because we know you're screwed in the middle. We'll overload the midfield, and that's how we'll do it. When they got their penalty, you know, I was screaming. I could see it. No one was picking up their number 17. I don't know. I think it was number 17. I was screaming because they were on a count, and it's like, yep, there's no one there. And Socrates has had this habit today of playing the ball in his own half. He had 5 chances, I counted. I was speaking to the chap behind me, and I was like, why don't he just get rid of it, kick it into Rhodes' head? But he wants to play footsies on his you know, in the 6-yard box. It's like, no, what are you doing, you know? Sorry, just I'm so I'm not angry, I'm just frustrated, you know. I'm just like,
I think
I'm just frustrated.
Mahir, did you see that part where Socrates was trying to play it out of his own box? He gets caught. Gun the deuce.
That was supposed to be a goal. That was supposed to be a goal on for Southampton. Same like during the last few minutes, we I don't know what's the guy's name, Kimpembe or something, or Tembe or something. Pardon me for butchering the name. He had open goals twice or thrice in the last minutes. He should have actually maybe even scored 2, and there would have been victors. It probably would have been 4-1, 3-1 in opposite direction.
And a lot of chances. Your signal is coming across scrambled a little bit.
I apologize. I do apologize, everybody. But now we did do prediction scores. 3-1 to us, and it could have ended 4-1 to them or 3-1 to them. Which, right now, guys, I mean, look, I was wearing the same jersey as you, as the same jersey as Ray. I'm sure Hopes has got undercover under all the layers, but I just took it off, and I do not want to be wearing my jersey for quite some time now. I think I'm just going to go back to wearing plain black because my heart right now, my heart is underneath the badge, but I can't hold this. I can't hold the weight, man. Like, it's spoiling our weekends, really and honestly.
Yeah, Tanner.
Yeah.
Maybe a mute question. Why are we persisting with David Luiz and Socrates?
He has seemed to want to play. Unai Emery just seems to want to play. He plays favorites. I think he plays favorites.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have an answer as to why why was Chambers the first man off?
Be sacrificed.
Yeah. Why? And that I don't understand.
Maybe
you
Hopes.
know,
Hopes. Did you get any murmurings in the crowd about Chambers coming off at halftime?
I think Hopes froze up on us.
Froze a bit.
It might be a little chilly over there. Who knows? I was. I don't want to say I was livid. I'm not. I'm beyond the anger. I think at this point with this club, it's just.
Yeah.
Man, oh man! I got to tell you, if they don't sack him today or tomorrow, I fully expect an empty stadium on Thursday for the Europa League.
Yeah, and a kind of a nothing game anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. I don't think we're through to the elimination stage. I don't think it's as much of a non-guarantee, I guess, as it could be.
Did I see a lot of gaps in the stadium in the first half? A lot of empty seats.
See, when I was watching, it looked. See, obviously all we see on TV is one angle, but the lower bowl looked pretty full to me on TV, although they did make
the second half for sure.
They did make a comment about it. They did say that they haven't seen it that they had. I think I saw it on Twitter. Somebody made a comment. It might have been Charles Watts who said if something like if empty seats are what did in Wenger, then here we go. Now the puppy's awake. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, it was when I had said, are we surprised, Tanner? We're not surprised by Arsenal anymore.
No, at this point,
it's hope. We've been going with hope. We've been going on hope for the last few weeks.
Chelsea 1-0.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, root for a draw there, fellas.
To your point where we talked about on Thursday, we are scoreboard watching.
Yeah,
not here. We're watching other results now.
This is what it's come down to. To be honest with you, like you say, we are not angry anymore. We're so past that it's like, oh well, we're expecting losses against teams like Norwich. Oh dear Lord, let Emery not be around he needs to be gone in the next few hours. He needs to be gone. Because I've heard enough of this.
Yeah, Tanner, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I actually commented on. Oh, let me give me just a minute here, guys. It's Dan Moutney. I think that's how you say it, Moutney, on Twitter. It's at Journo Dan M on Twitter. No, he doesn't have the blue check mark. But at any rate, I'm fairly certain that he is in the press conferences after matches, and I made a comment to him. He posted a picture just of the empty press room. Well, of the press room where the desk is empty, where Unai Emery will sit. I said, waiting to hear from Unai Emery after Arsenal's draw with Southampton. Could this be his final press conference as Gunners' boss? I responded, is it possible that a spokesperson for the club come out and say he's been sacked and no press conference? He responded with, possibly, yes, it happened with the Spanish national team, but obviously that's not the case. I think we would have heard by now that he did not come out for his press conference.
I think the class of the club would allow that he fulfills his daily duty. A final press conference, possibly.
No.
It's sad because, like I said in the intro, he came in with all of the best will in the world.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He conducted a press conference, which James Rowe knows is difficult to do, to speak in a tongue that's not native to you.
Yeah.
And I was kind of proud to see him get through that press conference, but he's just used up all of his credit in the last 18 months.
There's no goodwill left for him at this point. And I really think now, if the board don't sack him after today, And it's not. And again, we weren't unlucky. Like, let's look at the performance for a minute.
We were lucky.
We were lucky to get a draw. We weren't unlucky to not win. We didn't play well enough to win. Quite frankly, we didn't play well enough to earn the draw that we got, in my opinion. So maybe we are a bit lucky from that standpoint that we got a point out of this game. I really think we talked about this before, Ray, you and I, about folks who are actively rooting for their team to lose. I think you're going to see that. I think you're really going to see it start to turn now. I think you're going to get a lot of people that say, guys, you got to stop scoring goals because if he doesn't get sacked, if you keep scoring goals, he's going to keep his job. And everybody knows he cannot do this job. Every time you score, you're giving the board more ammunition to defend keeping him around. I really think this week, if he does not get sacked today or tomorrow, I think come Monday, you are going to see a dramatic shift where fans are actually, the supporters en masse, actively rooting against Arsenal to force change.
Sure.
It's hard to do. You sit here, we watch the matches. I will be there again. Not to repeat myself, I'll be there in a week and a half. How do I go to that stadium with a ticket that I paid for and say, please don't win this game if he's still in charge? I won't. I will root for Arsenal, but
Well, look, I don't know. I'm sure Matt here agrees with me. I can never wish for Arsenal to lose a game.
Me neither. I can't.
And I hear what you're saying, Tanner. There is a certain section of fans, Matt here, who will do that, but we won't.
We won't. The funny thing is, it gets to, frustration and anger. Now, it gets to a point sometimes where you give up and you become desperate because, to be honest with you, Tanner, to be very, very honest with you, right, I'm not one of those people that will do that exactly. Wish my team to lose, wish our team to lose. But do you know the thought came into my head and I actually contemplated it.
It's kind of like this, guys. I think I kind of did a bit of a thread on Twitter, and Ray, I apologize if I said this on your show already. Think of your one of your best friends, your best mate, all right, and he's in a relationship that is toxic. It's bad, but neither person will pull the trigger on ending it. But it needs to end. You almost, and I can speak from experience on this because a good friend of mine had reached this point with his marriage, and you almost think to yourself, I don't want either of you to cheat on the other or something that drastic that's going to hurt that much, but you almost need that drastic event to happen to reach rock bottom before the folks who can affect the change will in fact do so. And that's why I think, as I sit here and watch the game, I can't root against them. I just can't. I can't root against any of my teams.
No.
I just can't do it. Right now, sitting here right now, it sounds good in theory. The more, the more they score, if they win, he's going to stick around. But yeah, as you're watching the game, come on, you Gunners, let's go. And
like I said before you came on, I was saying to Mahir, how ironic that Mesut Ozil had a chance to save Emery near the end.
Yeah.
Super duper.
Yep.
With that shot that went over the bar.
Yep.
The irony was not lost on me.
I can't get the image of Lacazette's last goal in the way that he just kind of like.
Yeah.
You didn't keep it.
I want to ask you, is it possible VAR was in question there that he did not celebrate? We talked about strikers not celebrating.
Yeah, it could have been because I think they were checking something. I'm not sure what they were checking because nobody from what I could see, nobody was close to being offside. So I'm not sure what they were checking.
Or done anything wrong.
But that said, in this day and age, VAR checks everything now, and so maybe it's like, hey, whoa, settle down. We don't know if this is a goal. VAR may come in and say, nope, it's not a goal because of because a bee flew over my head or something. You know, who knows? 1-1. Kevin De Bruyne just scored for City.
Okay, thanks for
level at 1.
Scoreboard watching. I hear you're in.
That's exactly what VAR has done. It's literally ruined the human element of mistake. Where instead we'd rather blame on coaches. We'd rather blame refs and have that entertainment value and something to talk about. Then looking at the screen, I mean, 7 additional minutes. What if they given us 7 additional minutes? And what happened?
Sorry, maybe Meyer, maybe we just slow down a little bit. The mic is not picking you up very well.
Okay.
Hey, sir.
Hope, so we have a question for you. We were debating about Lacazette's equalizer, the second goal. Was there anything in the stadium told you maybe it was a VAR was in question?
I'll be honest with you. I walked out around 74.
That's right.
So I missed the equalizer. I didn't find out until I got out of the underground. That it scored, and I thought, yeah, great, But the whole. Sorry, I heard the other chap, sorry, I forget his name, speak about the ref. But the ref today was absolutely. He was not Premier League standard. Every chance he got to interrupt play, he interrupted play. There was no equality in terms of, what he was giving them versus what he was giving us. I can't remember a game, correct me if I'm wrong, where we've got so many yellow cards.
Yeah.
This was not Man City.
Very harsh.
Yeah, it wasn't Man City or Liverpool, but a lot of fans. I don't know if you guys heard it on the TV at home, but they were kept on chanting, "You don't know what you're doing." You don't know what you're doing.
No, I didn't pick that up.
Yeah, he wasn't the flavor of the month. Put it that way.
But Hopes, I thought Southampton had come to play for free kicks and break up the game a lot.
Fair point. Absolutely. Like, who wouldn't? Especially the position they're in. And you'd think that, Unai Emery would have realised, things would have changed. That the players would have been versed about this before they went out. But yeah, it was just frustration after frustration after frustration. I completely agree. Everybody, any chance they got, they were nicking a few seconds, goal kicks, free kicks, pretending, playing up. But even then, we lacked the ability to show the Arsenal way of football that I fell in love with 30 years ago. It was just nowhere to be seen.
I don't know what to say here. Hey, but Hopes, I've been following Arsenal since like 86, so 33 years. And older Gooners than I say things were worse long before that. So take of that what you will.
Hey guys, I'm going to run. I gotta take care of it before going into work at 3 o'clock my time. So, thanks for letting me come on. Good chat. Hopes, I'll get at you on Twitter, but I'll be over there in a week and a half, man. We got to meet up and at least put a pint or two down before a game.
That's fun. Good. Yeah, look forward to seeing you.
All right, guys. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Thanks.
Okay.
Can I just make another comment? If
yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to
wrap it up. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, on a totally different scale, like we are fans. I can't say we, but I've heard a lot of fans, I'm in and ahhing about Mourinho going to the Spurs, and in one way, you know, great, let them have him. You know, he's not Mourinho of the past. But in another way, I envy that they're at one step ahead of us in their rebuilding process. Now, okay, they haven't won accolades. They're not in our league, blah-de-da-de-da. You know, I accept that. But you know what? At least they're one step ahead.
Yeah.
Just like we took forever to get rid of Wenger. And it cost us. Like, you can see the divide between us and Liverpool, Man City, and so on and so forth. And now, you know, we're really feeling that now. And are we going to do the same again? Okay, Mourinho, like him or, you know, hate him, whatever, but he will bring stability to them, even if it's for a few months, a year, or what have you.
Mhm.
But nevertheless, at least they're trying. This is a club with no history, like who've never won anything, right? But yet it's a massive risk for them. Only time will tell whether it was the right risk to take. However, at least they've taken it. Whereas we're giving, you know, vote of confidences to our manager, and we just see week after week, you know, we go back to, we you know, you guys were touching on, you know, Lacazette's celebration or lack of celebration, you know, for want of a better sentence.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a case of when there's bigger things going on behind the scenes, it must be so hard to just be resilient and determined and enthusiastic when whatever it is, it's just not working. Imagine turning up to work every day and you just think, you know, what is this circus that I'm going into? You know, I just have to just do my thing. And then every week you got thousands of supporters, you know, like airing, you know, like saying, oh, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that, when you're having to play according to your manager's strategy, tactics,
Exactly.
and so on and so forth. You know, it must be so lackluster. Like, you know, it must be so like disheartening and just like, yeah, you know. So I'm grateful that the boys, that's why today on the stands, I was trying to cheer them on. No matter what small positive I could get out of it. Tierney's runs, Ozil's flick-ons, Bellerin's runs, Pepe missing twice, whatever. At least it was something, you know. They're still trying for him. But yeah, it's overall it is, you know, you know, it's not working. It's not going to work with Unai Emery. I don't see it being switched around overnight. But our rivals, yet another team, are ahead of us. We're now in 8th. After the season Tottenham have had, okay, we got one game on them, but we're 8th. You know, United are knocking on our door. Tottenham are now, I think they're equal, yeah, a point behind us. But it's like, you know, how bad does it have to get? You know, I never want Arsenal to lose, don't get me wrong. But sometimes you just have to say, you know what, just let it get as bad as it can, because we'll actually see how bad it's got to get until, you know, the hierarchy make their choice. And the hierarchy is one man, Josh Kroenke, you know.
Hopes, you're leading me into a good point here. I would like if you could join us tomorrow. We're going to have a sports psychologist tomorrow on the podcast. And to your point, you go into work every day and you don't believe in your boss. What kind of effort are you going to put into it? And we're seeing that on the field. So that's something we're gonna talk to a sports psychologist tomorrow, and hopefully delve into the psyche of these players, and more importantly, probably what message Unai Emery is putting across to them. Hopes.
Yeah, thanks for the invite, and yeah, definitely I'll try and be on. You know, it'd be great. I mean, I'm finding today to be very therapeutic just to speak to fans afterwards, and normally I try and hang around and speak to other fans, but yeah, I'm very grateful for you having me on, you know.
No problem at all. I can only imagine what it's like at the stadium right now and the fan base worldwide.
Ray, things about it. Things about to get real. I'm telling you. I just haven't.
And hopes, to your point, I hope that we are only a week maybe behind in that change that we need to make.
I can't, if anything, now the next opportunity will be the Christmas, but are we meant to be looking at new players at Christmas or players who can come in, or are we now going to be looking at a new manager? To me, I don't see Emery going in the next game or two. And what's going to be interesting, what's going to be fascinating for me is the nonsense Emery comes out with during his press conference, right? It's going to be fascinating to see what he's going to say. What is he going to conclude from here? Just look at the stats. Is he going to start talking about corners? He's not going to go on the referee because he tries to be respectful. Fair enough. The referee was bad, but it's got nothing to, when is he just going to say, sorry, but this is not good enough and I'm trying, I haven't seen the press conference yet, but it's going to be interesting to see what he makes of this,
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. Do appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. I'm going to go now, but take care and I'll try and get on tomorrow. Just send me a message about what time, UK time, yeah? And I'll try and make it.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Yeah. Nice to meet you, Gundit. Take care. Bye now.
Take care. All right, Mahir. Let's wrap it up. You go first.
Well, I'm glad Hope's got a therapeutic session by talking to us, because this is exactly what our channel is about. It's about passion, it's about heart, it's about caring, and we all support the same club. So I'd just like to thank everybody for watching. I'd like to thank Hopes for coming on, and the bearded Guna, Anna, for coming on as well. We really did, I personally thoroughly enjoyed that show, as per usual with any of our special guests. And please subscribe to our channel with your co-host and myself, the host and your co-host, yours truly. As we do shows, I mean, every Saturday night, every Sunday, or most Sundays. And also you can join me on my channel as well, here on YouTube, Guided News.
Absolutely.
I was
just going to say that if you had not check out Gunded News on YouTube, you started your own YouTube channel. So I think you got maybe three videos in there right now.
Yeah, the three. Basically, what we do is not only do me and you co-host the show, which you shall be a part of my show very soon. With this fans the works, and also to get on any fans that watch our videos and watch my videos, to come on and have their say, like you just said. Now it's very therapeutic. I just said, and I'm glad we can do that. We do love all the appreciation and support that's shown us. I mean, it's undescribable.
Just before we go, we like to respect everybody that comes in. Mobe Gunnar, thanks for coming into the house. This team, man.
Mobe, yeah.
I think that's a statement and a question and a rhetorical question all in one. Respect for coming in, Mobe. Like to get you on the channel one day as well. You know that. But I do think, like I said earlier, the coach will be let go. They'll let go of the coach tonight or tomorrow. And I think today was Emery's last game, unfortunately. I wanted him to turn things around.
Me too, but he lost.
We're losing ground to top four very quickly, and now we're looking at Manchester City and Chelsea, and hoping that it's a draw. You know,
Well,
very sad state of affairs. So we're gonna wrap it up. Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, hopefully better days are ahead. We do not like talking about results like this. I would love to be doing what Liverpool's doing right now. They seem to be invincible. Dare I say that word, invincible? Not really worried about that yet, Mahir. They go on, but there's a long way to go. I don't think Liverpool will finish invincible. I do think they will win the league, but we have to get into the top four conversation this season. And I think Unai Emery is going to pay with his job.
right now it's looking. Sorry. Right now it's looking irretrievable.
Irretrievable. Yeah.
12 points. I honestly don't know where we're going. I don't expect
Listen,
any sort of
we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to have Steve Cohen, a renowned sports psychologist, talk about maybe the coach and players, how they are working together or not working together, and how maybe some mental aspect can help this team again. So do join us tomorrow. This has been the 11th episode of the second season of Arsenal Fan Circle with Ray Walker and my co-host Gunded News, Mahir Abrams. Until tomorrow, come on you Gooners. Hopefully better days ahead. Up the Arsenal. Thanks for watching.